Once again, hello. This is Eva Colette playing The Sims 2, Strangetown. We are into round 1. We will be playing the Specter household today, and only the Specter household for their 4 days of round 1. One thing that I keep realizing that I'm forgetting to do is saying which version of the game I'm playing, because there are many options. I do have the Sims 2 Legacy Edition, the one that was released earlier in 2025, that had been optimized for newer computers by EA. It is actually, it is the full game, but it is also missing some of the stuff packs. Notably, I noticed that it is missing IKEA stuff in this game. But it's basically the same as playing any other Ultimate Collection on type game for The Sims 2. Certainly installing custom content works exactly the same. Doing some of the other bits and bobs, so to speak, is pretty much the same. Clearly, I've had no issues installing the custom content in this game. So, round 1 is going to be Friday through Monday. We will be leaving Tuesday morning at 6 a.m., leaving the households. And going in and looking. The only thing that I'm a little bit concerned about, and that I might do some slight cheating for, is when Strangetown first loads, Olive is very close to becoming an elder, and she is an elder and is close to passing away, to dying. I may either extend her life using the Sim Blender or the reward that you can get. I doubt either of them has enough rewards points to actually get it. Elixir of Life reward, and no, they do not. Olive is closer than Ophelia, and she could actually redeem some of those rewards already, but no Elixir of Life. So I'd probably have to use the Sim Blender, or because Nervous Subject is going to be moving out, I may do a thing where I do a combination Sim Blender and then have Nervous, who is technically Olive's son, move into this household as well after he has escaped from the Beakers. That is a real option, especially as, in my mind, Nervous makes more sense to inherit this property than Ophelia does. It's not that Olive doesn't love her niece, it's just that Olive's ability to show love is a little warped, in my opinion, due to, potentially being a serial killer here. The fact that Ophelia has survived so long is a bit astonishing, really. Either way, I'm going to have to keep Olive alive at least through these 4 days. Technically, Ophelia could live here for a while by herself. She is a teenager. The game will let you do that as long as you're not trying to move teens into independent households most of the time. But she will, in 13 days be going off to college. And at that point, there would be nobody living here. So we shall see what I decide to do about that, because Nervous really does make the most sense to me. It's probably the route I'm going to go, at least after this round. And we have not yet figured out Ophelia's hobby. We'll have her come over and try a few things. I do want to get rid of the phone in her bedroom. Not really a fan of that. Especially since she will probably be going out today and getting a cell phone. Oh, and here comes Mr. Humble. Because it had started in the evening, he did not come yesterday. or when the game yesterday would have been. Have Olive go over and open that. And we'll have Ophelia play a computer game. But yes, after school today, Ophelia will be going to a community lot and doing some community lot style things. Oh yes, one of the things that did happen when she and Johnny were hanging out previously, I think on Johnny's lot, in the deleted footage, oops, was they had their very first woohoo. I do not have any kind of teen pregnancy mod installed, so we are not going to be having teen pregnancy in my game. But because ACR is ACR, teens woohooing and doing those kinds of things is actually an option. Olive knows all of 3 people. She knows Nervous, General Buzz, and her niece. Real quick, I also realized I had not gone through the family trees at all. So, Olive Specter has one son, Nervous Subject. In the original family tree, he does not show a father at all. And she shows her most recent husband, if we go through her memories, which we might do here real quick. You'll see that Ichabod Specter was her 3rd and final husband. But she also has a sister who was Willow, married to Creon Nigmos, and they had a daughter, Ophelia, but they are both actually buried in Olive's backyard. And so their daughter is being raised by her aunt. And so that's this household, and Nervous Subject is very much Olive Specter's son. There's the school bus, which Ophelia won't do unless we tell her to stop playing video games. But yes, we have early demise. Husband number 1. We have rigor mortis, husband number 2. And then we have Hugh. So it looks like actually Ichabod was husband number 4. Hugh. Thanasia. I don't remember him, but I accept it. Anyway. She's on the phone with Nervous. Lock in the logic skill number 2. I think either of them are nature sims. Because of all of the bushes, the rose bushes here, we're going to need some level of garden maintenance on, on this particular lot. Something to be thinking about. May or may not hire a gardener. I do always try to make Olive and Nervous be, friends. They're pretty close to it already when the game first starts. And Nervous has so few friends. And it always seems to me that Olive would probably try to reconnect with her son who was taken by the social worker. And the truth is, with Olive as a sim, mostly we're kind of waiting for her to pass on to the next life. Which I spend a lot of that time fulfilling her knowledge wants. She is a knowledge sim. She wants to learn things. She wants to, And she has a surprisingly low number of skill points for an elderly knowledge sim. Basically just what she would have needed to reach the top, that professional party guest level of the slacker career. Which she has done. I could also see her doing... She wants to do a Far East vacation. I could see her doing that at some point. Assuming she has enough time. I definitely don't want her passing away on a vacation. I have no idea what that would do to the game, but it seems like it would be a hassle. Seems like it would complicate things. A little bit unnecessarily. Or have her pick up a cooking skill book. Olive is home from school, never mind. Ophelia. Yeah, wrong name count, number 1. And she brought home a friend from school, so that's exciting. So I'm going to have her hang out with her potential new friend here, which would be a Brittany Sue, who... I don't know if she always comes with that name. She always comes with the first name Brittany, but the last name feels like it might be different than usual. And she's just one of the teens, the NPC teens in the town. But it does give Ophelia a chance to have more friends than, Johnny and Rip. Obviously, she does also know all of Johnny's family, but nice to have a girlfriend instead of just all the boys. And I do kind of have a system, because I do have a plan for Ophelia this afternoon. I'm going to have her say goodbye to her new friend fairly quickly, but I do have kind of a system that I use to get them a decent start at a relationship when I'm not wanting their friend to leave immediately, but also like not planning on them spending all evening hanging out with their new friend. And it's just a group of interactions that I do together that tends to create some relationship stuff. And I'm going to have her study some cooking. We're going to follow Ophelia here. I'll lock in that want real quick. Like I said, I do always kind of get my teen Sims a cell phone, which then they keep for the rest of their lives. It makes the whole calling people and continuing relationships thing much easier when you don't have to find the house phone. Especially in the larger families, because you can kind of overlap the phone calling a little bit. Although I do think that Ophelia maybe wouldn't invite friends into this house. Man. I could see you being a little cautious about that. We'll see if she and Johnny even end up staying together. They don't have a super high attraction score. So it is entirely possible that they might end their relationship. Excuse me. A taxi. So Ophelia has gained a cooking skill point, but she now just wants to get 2. And she can't do the logic stargazing until it gets dark. So until then. No, we're not going to take Olive with us when we go to the community lot to get our cell phone and other things. The other thing that we may be doing here shortly is some updates to Ophelia's room. Right now she's got... So we're just going to go to 88 Road to Nowhere. It's their outdoor shopping center, strip mall. It's got a number of businesses located there. And I'll give you a quick tour when we get there. Just for planning ahead. Okay, nervous is a sports sim. Okay. And technically, because tomorrow's Saturday, I could have waited till Saturday to do this, but we'll find something else for Ophelia to do tomorrow. Maybe she'll go on a date with Johnny, or maybe we'll save that till Sunday and she'll work on things around the house tomorrow. We'll see. Okay, and I did update this lot a little bit. Obviously, I put some decorative cars in the parking lot because, you know, parking lot. Clothing store is still a clothing store on this level. And then up here, I have a couple hacked computers, just in case there's a sim family that's not super well off, can't afford a hacked computer at the beginning, so that they still have a way to save. And there's some skill building stuff up here as well. I took this quirky little pool that it starts out as and turned it into a disco on one side and a gym on the other. I did put the Sims version of a food truck in here so that there was something besides, because it does have the grill, right? Something besides that. I believe I did add the vending machines there as well. And there's the grocery store, and of course this newspaper stand, I guess, which has some jewelry in it, has some magazines and video games. And of course there is the cell phone kiosk, and that says she wants to buy a cell phone. We're going to let her do that. She also wants to take a picture, and I could see her doing something to update her room a little bit, that make it a little bit more hers. Oh look, unsavory charlatan. She's afraid of seeing a ghost, but not afraid of the unsavory charlatan, so, you know. She wants to go to college. It's gonna sound weird, but I do lock that in for all of my Sims, since all of my Sims do go to college. I know it takes up their one lockable want, but she is a music and dance Sim. Okay. The other thing that I do frequently have them do is there are 6 magazines that you can buy through the magazine stand, and each of them seems to correlate pretty directly with one of the unsavory charlatan stealing from Allison Fuchs here. But I have them buy the magazine that seems like it correlates with their lifetime want. You know, Ophelia being a family Sim, she'll buy the Young Sim magazine. It's beyond belief. Young Sim magazine. Because we've got Rat Race, Mode Live, Highbrow Review, Young Sim, Superstar Report, and Beyond Belief. So, Young Sim it is. And I do also let them buy the video games, you know, one at a time as they become a teenager for their household. It just gives the household more options, and I'm always a fan of more options. And the $15 for the magazine, or $25 or whatever it is, and the $95 for the video game, my Sims can always afford that. And as far as I've ever seen, they've never had wants to buy those things. They just... She doesn't really have a want to do anything else that would keep her on this lot. Normally when my teenagers become teenagers, I also have them do some quick grocery shopping for their family. But because the game just started, they don't really need to. So we're just going to have her pick up her teenage items and head back home. We'll go to the teen lot at a later date. Partly because I feel like Olive would be pretty strict about, you know, getting home at a decent time, not 4 a.m. And because I have community time installed, Ophelia will be out of the household for the next 5 hours, which means that we're back to just working with Olive here. Gonna have her make herself some IKEA meatballs. No, Opal Reeves, we don't really want you here. If Olive finds another husband, she'll probably just kill him off anyway, so we're just gonna leave Olive single for the safety and health of the male members of the community. And the graveyard has not spawned any ghosts yet, but we only played it through the one night, so I'm sure we will be getting ghosts soon. Olive does want to buy some new clothes, but Swedish meatballs, one of the custom foods in the game. Oh, yay, cleaning up! She must be a fairly tidy sim. Yep, very neat. Oh look, we have a tree on fire. Don't worry, it'll put itself out. Oh, Olive. What even is that? No. I will let you buy some clothes. It's just such a odd dress. Quit. I do not understand that dress at all. There are so many things going on there. Oh, she just withdrew all of her deposit. Okay. Well, yep, we're going to be cheating her extra days. 3 days younger. Olive. She had 31.8 in there. So if you have, one of the things with Monique's is if you have a deposit and you are within 24 hours of your elder passing, they will automatically withdraw it. Like, they will pull it out so that it goes back into the household funds, because otherwise if they pass away with it in there, you lose however much money that was. I was expecting her to be buying clothing, so the fact that she walked over to the computer did not immediately rouse my suspicions. But because I want Olive to be around just a little bit longer, I did extend her life by a tiny bit there. And put her money back in. Because otherwise she doesn't get the interest for it. See, I feel like this is the same dress shape. It's just so much better a dress than the one she is currently wearing. And this actually feels very much more Olive Specter, I will be honest. So we're going to have her switch to that one. And then she, oh look, she wants to get a job in the journalism career. Maybe, maybe not. Oh look, cactus is on fire again. Hey, as long as it's still raining, the rain will put the fires out. We're fine. No big. Nothing to be super concerned about there. There we go. Of course, the fact that she's going to go stargaze in her formal attire is fairly hilarious, if we're honest. That's just funny. Let her have some fun there. Looks like Ophelia's home in just over 2 hours. Probably will have her skip doing homework today. Update Ophelia's bedroom. Because she's got a dollhouse, a teddy bear, and a little music thingy in here. Along with a bed, a nightstand, a dresser, and the curtains, and more curtains. Oh yeah, that's where that door was that I removed. And one picture in black and white. I feel like she could use a... Ah, we've got our first ghost. It is Vicky Sims. Welcome, Vicky. And Olive has gained a logic skill point, which will make her quite happy. We also have Luke Smith out here haunting. And Luke must have died by drowning. I don't know how he did that on this lot, since there's no pool, but he was apparently very skilled. And we know this because he keeps leaving puddles. Oh, scared Olive. But she got a happy memory from it because she has a knowledge sim, and seeing ghosts makes those knowledge sims so happy. Weirdos that they are. I'm gonna let her go to bed. It is almost 10 o'clock. So. And of course she does want to urgently shower because, you know. But yeah, all of those puddles that Luke is leaving, they're going to turn into weeds tomorrow. So we probably will end up hiring a gardener to deal with that, since neither of our sims are nature sims. Oh, and there's Ophelia back. The sheer number of ghosts on this lot is a big part of the reason that I move the graveyard after Olive eventually passes, because it's a lot. It's really hard to get your sims to get a decent amount of sleep or any of those things with this many ghosts on a lot, because they constantly get jump scared by ghosts, and it's the reason that I love a good actual graveyard in my game. Yep. See? Tricky Sims just got Ophelia, who has a negative memory from seeing a ghost, because of course she is not a knowledge sim and does not enjoy that. Oh, she wants to get a puppy. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. I don't feel like Olive would be super supportive of Ophelia getting puppies. See, the puddles are already turning into weed patches all over their yard. Here, there, and everywhere. And if one of them was a nature sim, I'd just put them in charge of yard maintenance, but neither of them is. Okay, they are both awake. What does she want to do? Gain a skill point, cooking, and logic. I'm going to continue to lock in that logic skill point for her because she is a science sim. Ophelia, I think we're going to do a quick remodel of her bedroom like I was talking about. Just update it a bit for her. The other thing is, I typically put the beds on one wall, and Ophelia does need a place to do homework. So we're gonna, let's see, and she wears mostly black and gray. Yeah, I like that one. There's a better version of that. What other colors do we have here? I feel like that early faded red was actually the best option, because we do, want a little bit of color in here. But the other thing that we're going to do is we're going to grab this guy, get rid of it. And we are going to give her a hobby item in her bedroom, which for her would be a boombox of some kind. And then we're going to have to lock her door so that she's the only one who goes in there, because otherwise other Sims will wander in, turn on the music, and make it hard for her to sleep. I think the black and there is a black and gray version here. I do just feel like she would use, this is going to seem silly to give her a piggy bank, but when they're teens and younger, they get those school chance things where they get like $150 for doing really well in school or whatever, And you can only do the $100 through the Monique's Hacked. And so I try to have a way for them to actually keep their whole reward, that bonus that they got for doing well in school. And we're going to call that good for her room for right now. If she wants to add something later, we can. I would consider painting the walls, but it's part of the whole vibe of this place. I am going to, though, take out her photograph that she did when she was out and about. Oh, she's already got a beer. Oh. And hang that up as well, make it a little bit more, you know, hers. I don't know if Ophelia actually wears black and gray because she likes black and gray, or if it's because Olive won't allow anything else. Not sure about that. Ophelia does have several Sims that she could call. She does want to make friends with Brittany here, so we're going to let her do that. Goes Olive. Oh, and Johnny's just wandering in. Hi, Johnny. We do love a surprise visit here. It's gonna have her have some oatmeal. The environment's so bad because of all those puddles and the weeds. And all of the things in Ophelia's bedroom, the art, the furniture, all of that, will go to college with her and will be used by her in her first apartment / her future home. It is for furniture. She also wants to learn fire safety. You know, that's a good thing to learn, hon. Although I probably will have her have breakfast first. Yes, taste and season your oatmeal properly. Nobody wants unseasoned oatmeal. Actually true. Unseasoned oatmeal is not an appealing concept, truthfully. And we can move Ophelia's homework to her desk. Not have it on the floor. I know there is a item that you can get to select the desk so that the homework gets put away automatically. I have just never downloaded it. I'm perfectly happy to grab it and migrate it myself. As silly as that may seem. There we go. She got her skill point. Good job. She also wants to learn couples counseling. We're gonna focus on fire safety first because they really do be setting themselves on fire sometimes. Oh, and this house does not have a fire alarm, does it? No, it does not. Okay, well, while I'm thinking about it, the SimCity safety board does require that all households have a fire alarm by their stove. Possibly additional fire alarms by fireplaces and other such things. But for sure one by their stove. She probably won't call and talk to General Buzz, mostly because they're actually like enemies that aren't weeds, either because they're on, you know, a surface, so they're on the floor essentially, or they just haven't turned yet. Turned. Yeah, I don't think Ophelia's going to go anywhere today, but I will have her and Johnny meet up on Sunday and hang out then. She is an A+ student. Nope, so excited about mopping her front yard. Which is a weird thing when you say it out loud, but you know what? They don't dry up on their own. Oh, and she got a cleaning skill point, which will also make her very happy. The environment just is not improving. she's getting so many cleaning skill points. Which is just a thing that I never thought I would say out loud. Yes, go mop your yard. She also wants to learn fire prevention. She's so happy that she's in platinum from mopping her yard. Yep, and now she wants to be saved from death and reach cleaning level 4. She's probably gonna get there. Part of the reason the environment in the yard is bad is because of all of the weeds. I have to call a service and actually hire a gardener for them. Is there one domestic helper that they can have with less than $50,000? Where are you hearing the music from, child? There is no stereo near you, but here you are, schmussling away, sticking your head through a wall, which is skill.
Woo! Porca palachu sachi putu.
If you have a stereo on the lot, there is a chance that your Sims will schmussle just about anywhere. And we're almost cleaned up from last night's hauntings. She is no longer getting excited every time that she mops up a puddle, though. Which really is not that surprising when you think about it. Oh, and the environment has improved very slightly. Very, very slightly. Due to the lower quantity of puddles. Actually, it's a little early for you to go to bed. Go ahead and stargaze a bit. It is interesting. Who do we have tonight? Didn't look like either of the ones we had yesterday. That's... Yep, Melissa Sims. It is interesting to me that Olive's bed has a pink bedspread on it. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. She did not die by drowning. You know how I know? She's not creating new puddles. Well, and we've got a wolf playing in the puddles on the road from last night. She desperately needs some fun and social, so we are absolutely sending her. She wants to buy a handheld game. Probably won't do that. Just because games isn't her hobby. If she wanted the MP3 player, we would definitely do that. But I'm probably going to have her do Ask Johnny on a Date and go to the teen lot, which we have not yet seen. And no, we're not bringing Olive along on this date. That would be horrendous, quite frankly. Which would be the junkyard, simply labeled as teen hangout. I'm very descriptive about my lots. Partly because y'all need to see this lot, but also partly because that is what it's for. It's for the teens to hang out with other teens. Still so many puddles out here. Our taxi driver is here to... And here we go. We do have a hip-hop dancer here. I'm gonna pause this real quick, show you around the lot a little bit. Obviously, as a junkyard, it's got a number of junked vehicles, as well as assorted items that were not needed or wanted anymore. Most of this, quite honestly, is custom content. Some of it's a little weird, but that is how we roll. I found a number of custom boxes and barrels and things of that nature to put in as decorative objects. Some of them count as tables, so you can put other things on top of them. There's a Sims 4 to 2 port here. That's the heart bed. deconstructed. Just a number of things. And then, of course, there are the things for your teen Sims to do. We've got a basketball court, a pool table, some vending machines, and the grill here, as well as the bonfire area, and a DJ, some games, just ways for your teens to hang out and have fun. The screen projector thing, Don't Wake the Llama, as well as a photo booth, which I'm sure we will be using to continue to decorate Ophelia's room a little bit here. But yeah, just ways for your teen Sims to get together and have fun in the junkyard. Looks a little, probably could be grungier, but I felt like I did okay with that. They are on a date, so we do kind of have to do datey things. Otherwise, they will have a bad date. We don't really want them to have a bad date. We do have to ask him to join. Oh, and I don't have... Okay. I don't know that I have this set to teen only yet. Hold on. Because that is one of the things you have to do to make this work. Yeah. Ban children. Ban young adults. Ban adults. And ban elders. So some people are going to just disappear here real quick, but that's okay. I'm going to take a romantic picture with Johnny. Slight glitching happening with that curtain. Alright, so we have our grunt, we have Kendall Lawson, Tank, Edward, that, Tina, where's Johnny? Where'd he go? No, really. Oh, there he is. She can come over here and make some hot dogs. I've never actually figured out how they decide where to serve these up. It's a good date. It'll work. Apparently the chairs are in the way. Ah, routing issues. Okay. Is Johnny stuck? He might be stuck. That's good to know. I may need to move that. And she's getting to know more of the teens in town. She is really not attracted to either of those two. Wow. There. She just teleported. As you do when you can't get out of a corner. I wish I could teleport when I get stuck. That'd be awesome. Useful skill that. Alright, and it looks like it's going to be 9 hours before she gets home. So, We'll have her call Nervous, and then she wants to gain a skill point. Yeah, we'll probably have her finish mopping up the assorted puddles in her yard. Oh, the gardener is here, which means that the environment is actually improving out here. Between the puddle mopping and the weed pulling. Interesting, apparently the fence counts as a room? And all of the weeds have been pulled. Because the environment inside the fence was fine-ish. But the environment outside is still bad because of the puddles. Back before I did the thing where I'm allowed to have one domestic, this was one of the houses that frequently got a maid and a gardener. Not so much the butler, because I've always played it so that you have to be really wealthy to qualify for a butler. Like, goth wealthy, right? But the pretty much everybody else, as long as they had money coming in, would qualify for other domestic help. And I don't really do that as much anymore. I have benchmarks that you have to earn X amount of dollars outside of the nanny, who any family, with working parents and infants or toddlers, nanny's required. Like, you have to have somebody to watch the kids. So, where they come in, the social worker will come and take them away, and we don't really want to have that happening. So, but I have set it so that now any families with less than $50,000 in savings can have one domestic helper, either a maid or a gardener. Any Sims between $50,000 and $150,000 can have the other one, so the maid or the gardener. And then anybody with at least $300,000 in savings gets a butler. And I do not allow the butlers. The butler, when you have a butler, they will always ask you if they can get rid of the rest of your household help, because they can supposedly do everything, themselves. They can't. Don't believe them, they lie. Make sure you keep other people hired, or you will regret. Your house won't be clean, your yard will be a mess, and your children will be not fully cared for. Stop stuffing your face, Ophelia. You can have real food in a little bit. Oh, and she's just writing in her diary. Oh, can't have Ophelia seeing what you're writing, Olive. Couldn't have anything to do with her life. Probably does. There's not a whole lot else going on in Olive's life right now. Oh, we got the magic lamp? Why'd we get the magic lamp? It's probably the memory is probably in Ophelia. Yes, it is. Well, we will let her store that in her little... But yeah, you have trod the arduous paths of excellence. Your desire is answered by the ancient power. Choose most wisely your requests. So, Ophelia now has a magic lamp in her inventory. And I will tell you, I was really surprised to learn that the magic lamp was a uncommon item, because I had it show up so much in my game. But that's because I've always worked really hard to have my Sims be happy Sims. Okay. But yeah, the magic lamp, because I have always worked really hard to have my Sims have happy little Sim lives, I didn't realize that it was something a lot of people don't see much in their games. Totally did not know that. And so I was always surprised when people were like, oh yeah, the magic lamp, super rare. And I was just like, I get it all the time. I don't know. Maybe I'm doing something different. Turns out I was. I was having happy Sims. Who knew? And it's not like all of my Sims get it, because not all of my Sims are in Platinum as much as Ophelia has been. No, you can't go sleep in your niece's bed. That's weird, Olive. It's weird. We don't sleep in each other's beds. What are you thinking? I'm definitely hearing ghost noises. There we go. There's... oh, several. Euthanasia. Had to say that one a couple times to really get it. Timely demise. Or Timely demise. I have a bunch of puddles again tomorrow morning from Brenda Zabadi. Or Zadie. Zaldi? Hold on. Haunting other people's tombstones. That's a choice. And if you didn't know, the different colors also do show different, like, Timely demise here. No, euthanasia. Sorry. Can't keep Olive's ex-husband straight. Died in a fire, that's why he's red. That blue obviously is the water. The yellow is death by starvation. He's imitating his death there. Yay. All I gotta say is I'm super thrilled that the one that they decided to have, you know, drip water everywhere is the one that, not the fire one. I'm just glad that they didn't decide to have the fire one reenact their death by causing fires on the lot. It would have made things so much more complicated to play this game. Although, fairly entertaining, but way complicated. Nobody needs that. In the initial Sims game, you had to let them haunt at least once on a lot before you could move the graves, or they would have glitches that went with it. They would lose all kinds of information and stuff. I don't believe that's the case anymore, or at least I have some mods that are supposed to prevent that, but I still do it that way, but just out of long habit. And I'll be honest, like when I first played this game, I did not use cheats. The bullprop was never turned on. The only cheat I used, 2 cheats I used, were Motherload and Force Twins. Those were the only ones I ever used when I first played, and I did not do any kind of custom content because custom content scared me. Obviously, I've gotten over that. That is no longer a fear I have. But early play was very, very different for me than it is now. Now this is I'm talking like 2007, 2009. Early. I've been playing more like this, and I always did play in the round though. Alright, here we are Monday morning. This is going to be our last day of play for this round. Obviously, Ophelia is going to be headed back to school today. Olive, still showing 63 days old. Ophelia has, well, by the end of this, she's going to have 9 days before college. So she may be looking for a job when she gets home from school tonight. That is usually about when I start having them look for jobs, is at about 8 or 9 days, halfway through, essentially, the teen play period. Gives them plenty of time to actually have a job, but also gives them opportunities to have more time to develop relationships, go downtown, hang out with friends, all of those kinds of things. Alright, Ophelia, I'm going to have you come out here and actually talk to your aunt. You two have not interacted hardly at all. Yep. As anticipated. Just don't really have a great relationship. Like it's lifetime 14, lifetime 12. I'm telling your niece a joke.
Chukas! Loop liga!
Oh, and there's the school bus for Ophelia. What else does Olive want to do? We could have her study a cooking skill. I still don't know how she has so many ghosts buried in her yard who drowned because there's no swimming pool here. Although, if I was going to put one in, right there would be the spot. Anyway, maybe someday. And somebody else is the property owner here. Honestly, I'm just kind of killing time here until Ophelia gets home from school. Because Olive just doesn't really have a lot of wants that lead to things other than skill point building, skill building. Oh, that's probably Ophelia's date card from Johnny. We'll have Ophelia get the mail when she gets home because it's probably her "we had a good date" thing. Well, since she wants to gain a cleaning skill point, I'm going to have her change into everyday and then just go mop the yard again. Things that, you know, like normally, okay, so Ophelia does have $100 that she gets to deposit when she gets home as well. That's exciting. And they do get to keep all of those chance things that they get, along with all of their, when they go to college, they get their scholarships. All of their scholarships, all of their, you know, rewards for doing well in school or not doing so well in school. And those all go towards what they end up with for household funds when they graduate from college. I don't have the no 20K handout in my game, but I do have a system where I adjust the funds that they receive. It's part of the reason that all of my families have a name or a number after the name in them, because otherwise when you use family funds that cheat to change amounts of money, what you end up with is you end up with them potentially going to the wrong households and doesn't help anybody out. So she gets to deposit her $100 along with getting her card. Oh, and she made a best friend, apparently. No. No, she just changed which friend she wanted to make. Okay. Well, and actually Ophelia has a friend that she wants to make with Edward here. So we'll let her do that. She also wants to gain a skill point. Oh. I'm gonna have her study cleaning. Yeah, I think I will just, that way I don't have to keep fighting her about her urge to die. So we will just most likely move Nervous in tomorrow. By which I mean next round. That way there's still an adult here. He inherits the house. He inherits all of Olive's money. Because typically the way I have the savings inheritance work is the spouse gets half. Any children they have get the other half split among them, but Olive's spouses are all buried in her backyard. And Nervous is her only child, so he would receive an inheritance of everything. The only thing that I may do, because I suspect that some of Olive's money is actually Ophelia's inheritance from her parents. So I may have Ophelia deposit $10,000 and have that be her inheritance from her parents, who are also buried in the backyard. Because this house is fun like that. Especially since Nervous will probably also be inheriting the house, which is worth quite a bit of money. Plus, he's about the only person who has a good relationship with Olive, so he will get the in-game life insurance. I mean, like, Ophelia's probably going to get a little bit, but not nearly as much. And we have more hauntings happening. Got Jessica and Body. We've got Benjamin Cho. Anyway, there are so many people buried in Olive's backyard, I'm not going to lie. Wait, well, now she wants to ask for homework help. I may lock that in over college because it just makes it so much easier to keep them happy when they're doing homework. But she'll probably learn it from her cousin Nervous, because I just can't imagine her asking her Aunt Olive for homework help. Like, just... It's part of the reason I wasn't having her learn it. Like, why do you always serve? Okay. Eat your food. Put away the leftovers. Alright, so we are at 6 a.m. next morning. Ophelia is still sleeping because she had such an interrupted night. But Olive is up and ready to go, and we will be back to this household in round 2 to play the next steps. In round 2, Ophelia will be getting a teen job. Olive will probably be joining her garden. And Nervous will be moving in as the adult in this household, which is one of the most concerning statements I think I've ever made, now that I'm actually considering it. But it should work out beautifully for everybody involved. Alright, and with that, I want to thank everybody for joining me today. Be back next week with another episode. And hopefully you'll have a good week. Enjoy your game and the rest of your life, your real life as well. Have a good one. Bye.